Krishna. So good to see you, all of you gathered here once again. I hope you had a meaningful day so far, and this session becomes a moment of reflection amidst everything else. My name is Ishan, and I'm from Stan Dimension Clubs ISC, and I'm happy to be hosting today's session. We now arrive at day 11 of our 18-day Gita reading series. Before we move into today's theme, let us briefly reflect on what we explored yesterday in chapter 10. Yesterday, we learned that recognizing excellence around us helps us appreciate a higher source behind our talents and abilities. We saw how gratitude for life's gifts builds humility, confidence, and purpose, and how seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary deepens our focus and inspiration. So now let's move to today's session. Let me ask you a question. Many talk about the core lessons of the Bhagavad Gita. What, according to you, is the core lesson of the Bhagavad Gita? You can type in the chat box. Shiv Prabhu says, seeing Lord's hands behind everything. That's a nice answer. But other participants think, okay. So Teju Chaudhary says, focus on actions rather than results. That's also nice. So Dharma Niranjan says, everything is temporary and it will happen again and again like summer and winter. That's a great analogy. So today we move into chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita, and the theme for today's session is essence of the Bhagavad Gita. So in this chapter, Arjuna witnesses an extraordinary revelation, the universal form of Lord Krishna. Through his profound experience, Arjuna realizes the very essence of the Bhagavad Gita. So if you are ready to reflect sincerely and engage deeply with today's discussion, please give a thumbs up in the chat. That's nice. So now to delve into the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, it's my great pleasure to invite Sri Shri Das Prabhu from ISKCON Bangalore to kindly take over and guide us through today's session. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Ishan. Very nice. So let us begin the session with prayers. Prayers will be displayed on the screen. I request all of you to please join me. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So, very happy to see all of you once again. And today we are going to discuss chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita. And this chapter 11 is called Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, the vision of the universal form. Yesterday we discussed that how it is very important for each one of us to practice seeing divinity, seeing Krishna in every aspect of our existence. Now, today, Krishna is going to demonstrate in this chapter, in the 11th chapter, upon the request of Arjuna, Krishna displayed his magnanimous, wonderful, huge, gigantic, universal form, and thus he proved whatever he spoke previously was 100% right. In the universal form, Krishna displayed how every aspect of this universe, of this creation, is pervaded by Krishna and his multi energies. Whatever Krishna spoke in the 10th chapter is theory, and 11th chapter is the practical demonstration of that. Now, Krishna has shown universal form to multiple people at different times. This is described in the Mahabharata. But the particular form which Arjuna saw on the battlefield of Kurukshetra is not just the universal Virat Rupa, as it is called. It's not just a gigantic universal form. It is also Kala Swarupa. It is the aspect of Krishna as the one who controls time, past, present, and future. Now, why did Krishna show this particularly? All that we will discuss in this chapter in today's session. So let's begin with the first point for today's discussion. Seeing the bigger picture helps us act with perspective instead of panic. Many a times we get lost into minute details. We may do our daily duties very nicely, but we forget that all our duties are meant for a bigger purpose. Every duty, every work, every action, every thought, everything that we do in our life, Bhagavad Gita says, should be done with God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. The bigger picture is that everything should be offered to the Lord. Then uh, our life becomes spiritual. Every moment becomes a festival because of the deeper connection that we can develop with the Lord. You know, the famous story we might have heard, it is mentioned in the Upanishads also. Six blind men, they went to, to explore what is an elephant. Each of them touched and felt different parts of the body of the elephant, and each of them came up with their own theories to explain what is an elephant. Somebody who touched the huge body, the belly of the elephant, said, elephant is nothing but a wall. Someone who felt the tail of the elephant said, elephant is nothing but a rope. Someone who felt the ears of the elephant said, elephant is a big fan. Somebody who felt the tusks of the elephant said that elephant is a spear, a sharp object. Someone who touched the trunk of the elephant said, it's a snake. And someone who felt the legs of the elephant said, elephant is nothing but a tree. So, what each one of them, they were not able to see the elephant, but they had past experience of touching and feeling all these different objects, the rope, the tree, the wall, the fan, the snake, the spear, and so on. And they simply connected their present experience of the body of elephant with their past experiences of these objects. And we know each of these theory that all these six people came up with is wrong. Each of these theories this does not really explain the matter of what is an elephant. It is simply their speculation, right? So they didn't get the bigger picture. They only felt small parts of the body of the elephant, different parts of the body of the elephant. They did not get the right picture of the bigger picture of what's the elephant exactly. In the same way, many a times we get lost into the details, but we forget that behind this entire cosmos, there is the Supreme Lord who is managing the entire affairs of the world. So, to demonstrate this aspect, the Lord displayed his universal form. In fact, in the beginning of this chapter, you will see Arjuna asking Krishna, my dear Lord, I am convinced, as far as me I'm concerned, I'm convinced that you are the Supreme Lord. But still, I would like to see your gigantic form. I want to see how you have entered this universe and how you have pervaded this entire universe. So, why is Arjuna asking such a question? If he is already convinced that Krishna is the supreme reality, why is he asking? Does he want to test Krishna? No, that's not his intention. But actually, our Acharya Srila Prabhupada explains that Arjuna is teaching all of us this interesting fact that if somebody claims that I am God, then you can right away ask such a person, my dear sir, you're saying you're God. Can you please display your Vishwarupa? Right? So Prabhupada says this is a litmus test to differentiate the actual God from the bogus imposter gods. Real God can show the universal form because he's actually pervading the entire universe. Whereas somebody who claims makes a show or makes a propaganda that I'm God will not be able to show. And not only Krishna agreed to show the universal form to Arjuna, but he also said, my dear Arjuna, the form that I'm going to display to you is very, very effulgent, as this very chapter describes. If thousands and thousands of suns rose simultaneously together in the sky, what would be the brilliance? That was the kind of brilliance that was emanating from the universal form. So Krishna said, my dear Arjuna, with your normal eyes, you will not be able to bear that effulgence. Therefore, I'm giving you Divya Chakshu. I'm giving you divine eyes with which you will be able to see this universal form of mine. So then Arjuna could see within the universal form, as confirmed in the Vedic mantras, Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyadishta Dashangulam. So, within that universal form, Arjuna could see thousands and thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of hands, thousands of legs, thousands of bellies. He saw wonderful things. He saw the grandfather Brahma of the entire creation. He saw the Lord Shiva and his 11 expansions, Ekadasha Rudras. He saw all the devatas within this universal form. And he also saw many, many ferocious mouths of the universal form, which were emanating fire. And Arjuna could see that all the great warriors on the battlefield of Kurukshetra who had all assembled, including Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Krupa, Ashwathama, all of these people, they were actually helplessly entering into the multi mouths of the universal form. That means Krishna, he is assuring Arjuna, this is the outcome of this battle of Kurukshetra. Already I have killed them. I have already killed them. You just be an instrument in my hand, O Arjuna. You are thinking that you are going to kill them? No, that's ignorance. I have already decided the outcome of this war. I have already decided who's going to die. And as you're seeing, Bhishma, Drona, Krupa, all of these great warriors, they are helplessly being killed. They're entering into the fires emanating from my mouths. Nimitta matram bhavasavya O Savyasachi. Savyasachi is one of the 10 famous names of Arjuna. Savyasachi means one who was expert in releasing arrows through his bows with both hands. He's called Savyasachi. So, O Savyasachi, don't think that your arrows are going to kill these warriors. It is me who is going to kill. I have already killed them. So, you become an instrument in my plan and you take the credit. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Nimitta means instrument. So, when Arjuna saw this and the bigger picture, the bigger scheme of things, he understood that this entire world is planned, organized, executed everything by the Lord. And I am such a tiny person. I don't have to panic. I don't have to worry about so much of analysis and paralysis that I did previously. It is Krishna who has decided this, and let me just follow his plan. So, when you see the bigger picture, you can act with the right perspective, and instead of panicking, you become calm and you do your duty. So, just like if you're seeing a image, if you actually zoom out, you will see every part of an image very clearly, right? So, in the same way, when you zoom out, problems shrink to their real size. When you zoom out, sorry, not zoom in, zoom out, and your decisions become wiser. So, zooming out is the kind of experience Arjuna went through when he saw the universal form. The second lesson for today from the 11th chapter: real growth begins when ego gives way to humility. As in fact, as soon as Krishna displayed his universal form, Arjuna was actually shivering. Uh, he was experiencing wonder, ashcharya. He also experienced bhaya, fear, because he was not expecting that. So the first thing that Arjuna asked as soon as he saw the gigantic universal form was, "Who are you, and what is your purpose?" Like these were the questions asked by Arjuna. Who are you? Are till now I was thinking you are my friend Krishna, and you were playing the role of a chariot driver for me out of love and friendship for me. Now all of a sudden you have assumed such a gigantic form, and I'm not able to see the beginning or the middle or the end of your gigantic form. So who are you? And for what? What is your purpose? For what purpose have you come here? Like this, Arjuna is asking the question. And in front of the universal form, the entire existence, the entire battlefield of Kurukshetra, the great warriors, and Arjuna himself appeared very, very insignificant, very, very small, right? So, just like if you go to the outer space and see the earth appears like a speck of dust, right? In that earth, there are people who are fighting for property, for name, for fame. But when you see from the outer space, this entire earth, the globe is just one insignificant dot, a speck of dust. So immediately, when you see something big, something huge, you actually realize how tiny, how insignificant I am. That is why in our Indian culture, we always, ancient temples especially, were very, very huge, huge structures. And, you know, these structures used to be constructed, big, big temples, from a long distance. If you see, you'll be able to see the Gopuram, the Shikhara, the, you know, of the tree, sorry, of the temple. You will see from a long distance. So, why? And also, such big structure, when you see, first you realize how tiny I am. Such big structures and such big doors, and especially the innermost door of the temple would always be very, very low, so that people, even if you're a rich man, you're a king, or whatever you are, you actually bow down and enter the temple of the Lord. That is physically helping us to develop that attitude of humility. I'm going to God, God's house. Devalaya, alaya means house, Deva means God. I'm going to God's house, and God's house is so big. and I have to bow down in front of him so that I realize I have to give up my ego. And in many other temples, especially in South India, if you go to Kerala, they say that men cannot wear any upper cloth when you're going to the temple in front of the Lord. What is the significance of this? It is not simply a blind ritual. It's actually meant to make us realize that, in front of the Lord, our opulence, our richness is actually nothing. We should not go there to display how rich I am. See, I'm affording the best imported dress or the branded dress, which we all feel very proud of. In front of the Lord, you know, you feel real humility. No, I am actually a servant of the Lord. So real growth begins when ego gives way to humility, right? So ego may protect our comfort, but humility helps us unlock our progress. So if we are always thinking, I'm so great, I can do so many things, I'm so able, but Krishna is saying, look, you are insignificant. You are just one ant in front of the entire my cosmic form. So in this 11th chapter, we can actually see the Lord displaying his opulence, his greatness, and the description. If you read, it runs through many verses in this chapter. The description itself is so interesting, and in fact, Arjuna, after seeing this universal form, he says, "My dear Lord, please forgive me because previously I have treated you just like my own friend, and out of such friendship, I have addressed you as Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Sakha. Like this, I have addressed you. And we have sat down next to each other. I have sat next to you. And on the same bed many times when you had come, when I have come to Dwaraka, or when you came to Indraprastha, both of us have slept on the same bed. Please forgive me for all those offenses, O Lord. I actually did that out of ignorance. I did not know your actual position. So immediately there was a disturbance in the friendship rasa, Sakhya rasa of Arjuna when he saw the huge form of the Lord. So humility is very important. We should not be proud. Ultimately, all our abilities, talents, everything comes from the Lord. That is a very important learning that we get when we talk about or when we discuss the universal form of the Lord. Now, the last part is very important. That covers the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Understanding our role in a larger system builds courage and responsibility. So, the last verse of this chapter, there are 55 verses, shlokas in this chapter. In the last verse, Lord Krishna talks about a very important thing. So previously, Krishna had told, Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. O Arjuna, be an instrument in my hands. And you take the credit. See, the Lord is so compassionate towards his surrendered devotees. Actually, he does everything, but he wants to give credit to his devotees. He wants to glorify his devotees. Just like the devotees are always eager to glorify the Lord is also very eager to glorify his devotees. That is why he said, Oh Arjuna, I have already killed all these big warriors. Now you fight and take the credit. And in the last shloka of this chapter, Krishna says the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. If somebody asks, tell me in one shloka, what does the entire Bhagavad Gita summarize into? So Lord Krishna says, Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhakta sangavarjitaha nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yassa mameti pandava. O Pandava, O son of Pandu Maharaj, Arjuna, now I will tell you something very important. Please understand this. Mat karma krin, do my work. Mat paramaha, considering me to be the ultimate goal of your life. Mad bhaktaha, become my devotee. Sangavarjitaha, give up all bad association, right? And nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu, do not consider anybody as your enemy. Look at this. Krishna is saying this to Arjuna on the battlefield. Oh Arjuna, don't fight against the Kauravas because you're thinking them to be your enemies. No, don't fight like that. Do it as your duty. Don't consider anybody as your enemy. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. This only Krishna can say like this. On the battlefield, he's saying, do not consider, do not develop enmity towards anybody. Do not have inimical feelings towards anybody in your heart. Yassamamiti Pandava. Like this, if you lead your life, you will come back to me. So, this is the message, the crux, or the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Mat karma krin, do my work. If you notice, from the third chapter, from the second chapter, we have been seeing how Krishna says, don't be worried about the results, just do your action, that he said in the second chapter. Third chapter, Krishna said, even for a moment, you cannot be without doing any work. Therefore, you have to do your work as an offering to God. In the fourth chapter, Krishna said, while doing your work, for doing your work as a sacrifice, you need to have spiritual knowledge. So you have to approach a bona fide spiritual master and acquire knowledge from him through service and surrender. And with that knowledge, you will be able to perform selfless action. And in the fifth chapter, towards the end, Krishna said, I am the enjoyer of all your activities. Do your actions for my sake. Now, that whole concept of karma yoga, Krishna is summarizing here by saying, do my work. Previously, in the 10th chapter, Krishna also said, everything emanates from me, everything belongs to me. And he also said previously, the sun and the moon, which are providing heat and light, they are coming from me, they belong to me. And Krishna said, the water that you drink, the taste of that, it is coming from me. And he said, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, all these things I have provided. Our body is provided by the Lord. It is something like this. Very interesting analogy. I'll just take 2, 3 more minutes. Suppose you are recruited into a new company and all the formalities, interview is done, you're recruited, and the HR formalities are done. And finally, your reporting manager will show you your workplace, your workstation, and he will say, see, this is where you should sit. This is your laptop, and these are the facilities. This is your chair. This is your table, and all these facilities. And he says, this is these are the facilities that we are providing for you. So please start doing your work. Okay? He says, please start doing your work. And let's say the first day of your job, you open the laptop provided by the company to you to do the company's work. And instead of doing company's work, you start playing games. You start playing some video games, right? And then the manager comes to know about it. What will he say? What will he say? I have not recruited you to this company to come here and sit and play video games. I have provided all these facilities to you so that you can do the work for the company's growth. And you are being paid for that. I'm paying for you, not for coming and doing this kind of personal work or gaming and all of that. You have to do company's work. Now, so far, Krishna said, I have provided you the intelligence. Buddhim buddhimatam asmi. Whatever intelligence you have got, I have given to you. And your body, the elements to make up your body, I have given to you. The food that you're eating, It is getting digested in your stomach because I am present in your body as the fire of digestion, and I am giving you intelligence, I am giving you memory, I am giving you everything. Now, after explaining all that, now Krishna is saying, therefore, please do my work. This body that you have been given, it is mine. The mind that is been given to you, it is mine. This world is also mine. Why don't you do my work? Why are you feeling, why are you egoistically thinking that this belongs to me, therefore I will do whatever I want to do? That is false ego, ahankara. So you do my work, Krishna is saying. Mat karma krin. O Arjuna, this war, this battle of Kurukshetra, I have organized. And I desire that you, Dharmatmas, the Pandavas, have to fight for my sake, because this is my work. So Arjuna's work was he had to carry out the orders and desires of Lord Krishna. Being a Kshatriya, he had to fight and fulfill the Lord's purpose. Because in the fourth chapter, Krishna had told that I have come to this material world to establish dharma, and I am using you as an instrument for that, Arjuna. That means this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. What is the essence? Everything belongs to the Lord, and I have to do Krishna's work. What is this Krishna's work? Okay, for Arjuna, it was clear that Krishna, he had to fight the Dharma Yuddha. But for me today, for you and me, what is Krishna's work? Krishna's work for us is, first of all, realizing what is Krishna's message for all of us. And we have to mold our life in such a way that we are following Krishna's instructions in our daily life, right? Being conscious of Krishna every moment in our life while we are doing our daily activities. That is Krishna's work. We have to execute that. And we have to help others also who have forgotten what is the real purpose of life. They should also be reminded on behalf of Krishna that yes, please remember Krishna. So this is Krishna's work. So that means we have our purpose of life is not simply, you know, to get into some school or college, get a degree, get a job, earn money, make wealth, and then produce children, and then bring them up. They will also go through the same routine, and one fine day we die. It looks like a very, uh, you know, illogical end. So many people don't realize that they exist for what purpose. So they born in ignorance and they die in ignorance. But in this chapter, we understand we have a role to play in Krishna's world. We have come to his world. We have been using his resources. So we have to do his work. So bhakti means lovingly following Krishna's instructions out of love and surrender and feeling his presence every moment in our life. So that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So let us now chant one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and feel experience the presence of Krishna through the Shabda, through the sound of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is not different from Krishna. So this is doing Krishna's work. When you are actually connecting with Krishna, Krishna will enlighten us. He will give us clarity about what to do in life. So therefore we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So request all of you to join me for a minute. First we chant the Panchatattva mantra together. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So tomorrow we'll be discussing chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is known as Bhakti Yoga, acts that attract Krishna. What are the qualities uh, in us which can attract the all attractive Lord Krishna? So we're going to talk about this. Krishna personally says this in the 12th chapter. And this chapter also answers the fundamental question about whether God is a person or is he energy. We will talk about this in tomorrow's session. Moving forward, this Saturday, we are celebrating a very special event, the eve of Mahashivratri. Mahashivratri is on Sunday. Saturday, the Trans Dimension Students Club in the campus is celebrating the Night of Awakening. All of you are welcome. Please do come at 7 p.m. in Sarvan Complex, second floor. You can also get your friends and acquaintances in the campus for this event. So we're going to have a very wonderful bhajan clubbing evening, and we'll have enlightening discussion, mantra meditation, and of course, relishable Krishna Prasadam feast for all of you. So please do come and let us meditate on the glories of Lord Shiva, who is the greatest of all the yogis. So we'll meet on Saturday. Please don't miss. Please do come. Then we have the next part, that is Q&A. If you have any questions, any points to say, please feel free to unmute, or you can even type your questions in the chat box. We'll wait for a few seconds. Okay, it looks like there are no questions. Thank you very much for being part of the session. We shall meet again tomorrow at 8:45 p.m. We'll be discussing chapter 12. Thank you very much. Niranthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.